970, your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Katrina, and I'm calling from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Hi, Katrina. How you doing today?
Great. I'm calling because two of my best friends have talked to you and encouraged me to give you a call and help me get a gentle nudge back into inspiration.
Well, that's good. It seems I've been passing around. I've been doing a lot of Colorado readings the last couple of weeks here, actually. So have you heard the other readings before? Have you heard me do readings before?
I've tuned in maybe 20 minutes, and then I've been listening today. So I'm inspired. I'm a single mom, and I'm ready to get my son launched out of high school. He's graduating in a month, and it's time for me to get back into who I am, I think.
All right. What I need you to do is tell me the first 10 minutes of your day out loud. Be as descriptive as you can about when you woke up and what you did during that 10 minutes. Combine into about 40 seconds, and when you're doing that out loud, I'll tune into your infinite dream world energy and then help you begin to understand the processes that you're going through on the sacred path right now.
Okay. Well, I woke up around 5 o'clock, and my alarm went off, and then I turned it back off and went back to sleep for about another half hour. And then I got up and made my son breakfast and took him to school. And then when I was doing that, I looked out at the mountains, and we're finally having a clear, sunny day here.
Outstanding. Well, I've tuned into your energies. The first energies that are coming to you from your east direction, and this is the energies that are coming to and from you in a concept. When the sun rises and the sun falls, it brings energy to you and takes energy away from you. And that is the to and from energy aspect of the east direction. And the first part of the east direction, it is literally rising with the western energy. It is saying that it's time for you to dream once again. Dream in the same manner you were when you were a child playing with your dolls. To dream in the same manner that allowed you to create dreamtime goals that take you into the shaman's drum, into the animal medicine, into the animal whisperer that you were at one point in time, into the person that is the inner shaman that has no external explanation for it simply because you are linked to the universal wisdom of the universe. This energy of rhythm and timing is coming to you, and it's asking you for going through a preparation time where you honor the old system that was used so that the new system can be created out of the functional tools that you've learned over the last 30 years. You're at a time and a place where your spirit guides have spoken to you, but you haven't hyper invested into the rhythm and timing of what it means to be a spiritually guided person with their sovereignty fully intact. Understand what I mean there?
I think so.
Okay.
I see when I need a spirit guide, it sounds silly, but there'll be a rabbit waiting for me, or I'll turn around and the rabbit is sitting right there. So it's almost like he's saying, keep on track.
Well, that's the synchronicity. What they're saying is you got to go beyond the synchronicity. The energies that are coming into you are beyond synchronicity. It's about you functioning in the actual mechanics of synchronicity and allowing yourself to encourage it for more co-creation. So that a synchronistic moment when the rabbit's there, that you can speak to it with mind speak. Okay? Or speak to it on spirit speak, because many animals in the world will speak to you spiritually. They won't speak to you physically. And when you begin to understand that there are many, many different societies of animal spirits and spirit guides out there, you have to invest into them and to learn their language and create a zone of trust. Were you listening to the last caller when I was talking about the zone of trust?
Yes.
It very much applies to you. You have to create this zone of trust so the spirit guides can repay you with the energy and the wisdom to learn their language. So when they create their zone of trust for you, you are in a natural state of self-expression, and that allows you to color the world with the pure energies of yourself. Now, this is the energies that are coming to and from you, this self-expressive energy in a spiritual format that allows you to use the tools that you have to create something on a different level. And instead of going to the east direction, I'm going to do your north direction, the place of your ancestors, because there's a whole lot of ancestral wisdom that's coming out of you right now. And right away, I'm drawn to a past life version of you. And when past life versions come up right away in a reading, it's because at some level your soul has been trying to teach you the lessons of this past life. And this person was in Japan, and they would dive for coral and dive for pearls, and they were a woman diver. Are you familiar with the societies of women divers in Japan at all?
Yes, I am. Well, when I was maybe 2 to 3, we lived in Japan.
Okay. Well, clearly this was a lifetime you've done many times, and this was thousands of years ago. This concept of the woman that would go out with other sisters and no men and would go out under the ocean, owning the ocean on their own to a special sacred spot to find the items that they were bringing up that would be brought back to the Shinto temples, and then they would be created into spiritual objects. You have Shinto priests that are all around you right now, and they're indicating to me that it is time for you to learn more of the concepts they're trying to teach, which is going out in nature, finding objects, returning them to your home, and then using the artistic and spiritual side of you to create items of healing, items of wisdom, things that you can give away to other people that are protective talismans, because that's the type of person that old diver was.
Would that be why I've been a weaver all these years?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Weaving is one of those things that you can put so much energy into it. Now,
I haven't been for the last couple of years, and I think I've been, that's what I need to get back into doing more.
You're reaching this point where your spirit is trying to build you to an awakened state so that you go into a new state of seeking and finding in your life. And it'll be your personal choice to call it a vision quest. If you don't call it a vision quest, you're going to limit yourself on what you really can do. You need the unlimited concept attached to this new expansion. Okay? And I know that it's tough for you to get to any ocean in Colorado, but you need water energy. Okay?
Yeah. Every morning I look at my picture of when I saw 4 whales when I used to live out in Point Reyes. So
you need water energy in your life. This may call for a time that you build a water feature for your house.
I have one of those fountains, and every so often I'll turn it back on, but I should keep it going all the time, probably.
Yes, and I would very much tell you to put some crystals in it, so that the water, and maybe make a little altar around it. And that's the altar to your personal vision quest. This is where you can get materials for some of the objects you're going to make, these little talismans, and put them on the altar and let them sit there and absorb the moving water energy. All right, on the next layer of your north direction is coming the rites of passage. And this rites of passage is representing that your son's going to be going away to college, and you've already been aware that there's going to be a free time that you can get your gears back in order, do the oil change on yourself, and to get the plugs and wires and brakes fixed. Because that's what you need for this next level. You need that service to self time that heals yourself so you can heal others on a greater scale.
Yeah, I think I've put other people in front, and now it's time to push me up in front again.
So what you really need is this next layer of how do I respond to my needs while my son is still here, even though you know he's going to go.
Right.
You have to begin this process of responding to your inner space. This is where you've got to look at your inner space and ask yourself, what concepts did I take from others that no longer apply to me now? The one that was passive when the men were around, the one that was passive when you were dating, or the one that was actively out searching. This is a whole new level to you. And this is the respect of your sacred space. There are people that you do not want in your sacred space anymore, and they just don't belong there anymore.
That's for sure.
Okay? You've got to enforce the rules to that and respect it on your own level. And when you begin to take this inner respect of your sacred space, the spirit guides that are in you are going to create what I call a council of fire. And this is going to be 3 grandmothers and 3 grandfathers in your lineage. The first grandmother is going to come to you and speak to you of healing with plants, how to crush and grind up plants and convert them into a medicine. The second grandmother is going to come and teach you about fabrics and how to create ceremonial clothing. And the third grandmother is going to teach you about the women in your genetic history that have been healers for a very long time. She will be the historian, the feminine historian of your family lineage. And she will be coming to you in many different ways. She'll be asking you to do a family tree. She'll be asking to expand and explore the concepts that are in this family tree. You ever done a family tree? Look back at your history?
Yes.
Okay. How expansive is it?
It's not that expansive.
Okay.
I just dabbled in it a little bit, but not really seriously.
Okay. When you're ready to communicate with either of these grandmothers, it'll be about putting something out there. And when you want to learn about the family lineage, pull out the old leftover information you did about your family tree and just read it. And when you're done reading it is when you'll have this opportunity to communicate to the spirit grandmother that wants to teach you about your family lineage. And it's very important that you try this, because there's been healers in your past lifetimes and in your family's lifetimes that makes your genetic tree very capable of producing very powerful healers that can challenge the very foundations of reality. Okay? It's to the point where you need to respect your family lineage, even though you may not understand it. And you can give respect to something that you don't understand. It's just a matter of understanding how to share energy with it, how to quicken the concepts between the two concepts, how to bring this energy into truth, and to convert something from what is possibly 50% truth and 50% doubt into 100% truth. When we get messages from spirit, doubt will be one of those things that many people face. Doubt is the most refined form of fear. So what you're going to be confronting in this seeking and finding process is your own doubt. Okay, you understand how this is connecting to you here?
Yes.
At times I speak to layers in people, and this will be in the archives in about 24, 48 hours on YouTube, or you can go to the archive button on the main homepage here at Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. And I would advise you to listen to this, because there are things that I'm saying to the you and to the you that will re-listen to this.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that I'm special at, is because not everybody can take all the information at once. They need to take it at their own pace. So some of the concepts that I brought up to you are vitally important to you in this process of awakening to new spirit you as your son begins the process to leave. So you're going to be overlapping processes as he's leaving and you're creating. You'll have to share energy with him that says, hey, I'm going into this wonderful new expansive mode and want to share it with you, but not overwhelm him with the change. So,
and I'd like to be able to encourage him to be open to more possibilities at the same time, as he grows. And
right. It's just as any mother would want to do to their child. Mm-hmm. Give them the same opportunity that you have. So you're reaching this point where so much of you is awakened, but you just have that final thing that keeps hitting the snooze button. And what I'm going to describe as this snooze button is ceremonial joy. And I use this term frequently. It's when you go into a time of self-respect and inner energy and allow yourself to experience the happiness of just being alive, separate of. Okay? I mean, can you identify those times in your life where you were just happy, no matter what the outside world said?
Yes.
And
they're happening more and more.
Can you create that out of thin air?
Most of the time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Then you are living in the ritual of joy.
I mean, when I walk into work, I bring joy to the people I help every day at work. And it's a silly thing, I sell shoes, but, they're not there just for shoes. They're there for a little bit of, hey, I'm listening to you at that time.
Mm-hmm. So you're at the next level here is once you begin creating on purpose moments of joy separate of the world, you're going to have certain layers of knowledge of inner knowing revealed to you. You're going to start putting together the patterns of your life, the patterns of your husband's life, or any of the people that are around you. You're just going to start putting patterns together. And as this knowing becomes revealed to you, it'll be your inner process to maintain that joy and allow that energy to flow through and then back to the universe, because that's the first foundation of psychic messages you're going to be getting, that your intuition is now taking on a cyclical format, and you must prepare for the next wave of this intuition and the next wave of this intuition. And as long as you create the zone of trust and allow yourself to have the sacred space within, these cycles will create movement, and this movement will create healing. And as that movement creates healing is when the true spontaneous part of the fire medicine that's in you is going to start creating some very impressive talents.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay. Did you have any questions?
I used to raise sheep and llamas, and I think I need to get an animal, but I don't want to be tied down to the animals. I do a lot of dog sitting, so I'm just trying to figure out how to bring animals back into my life, too.
That's a good question, how to bring animals back into your life. And if you don't want to be locked down, you have to identify why you don't want to be locked down, because the animal is going to represent continuous love creation, an expression of love.
Okay.
You have a son that's leaving, and you don't want to replace the son's love with something else.
No.
So it's all right to not have an animal, and it's all right to put that decision off until he's gone for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something you need to worry about or to do. You've got animals that you can pet sit, and if you decide you want to get something, that'll be your personal choice, and the spontaneous, intuitive person will just know the right time.
And I'll know the right animal.
Right.
The animal will find me.
Oh, yeah. They will find you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you have any other questions?
How does travel fit into some of this?
Well, travel fits in with your intuition. As you create more moments of joy and begin to start doing things with your hands and start creating things that are for a spiritual use of you, travel will become possible. But it's only based upon the investment that you're going to give into it of these co-creative magical moments of going out and finding things and then turning them into spiritual tools. As I described the Japanese diver in you, your purpose was to go out and find these things on the bottom of the ocean that the ocean was offering as service to the seeker. You then return them to the Shinto temples and convert them into religious artifacts that people would empower and use as part of their DNA lineage of religion that they would pass on to others. Okay?
Well, I'm just got back from a trip and found all these crystals, and it seems pretty easy for me to just tune in and find the crystals. So I'll keep working on that.
Okay. Get out there and start doing stuff with your hands. I think that's the most important thing from this reading.
Okay.
Okay?
I will.
All right. I've got another caller on the line.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Call in again sometime.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay.